Everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people in Oklahoma were native.
Yeah,
and
a lot.
Their license plate would say native on it. And I was thinking, like, you really want to tell the police that? That seems like the worst thing. That's like getting in Texas being like, yeah, mine says black man. Mine says armed black man on the back of mine. Yeah, my license plate says armed black man here.
Native with attitude.
Native with attitude. Nice. Jimmy put on the shades too.
Ooh. Putting on the snarf sandwiches.
The what?
The snarfs?
Snarfs? Yeah, of course. Snarf 405s? You know it.
Oh yeah, Snarfs. They sponsored this episode.
Yeah.
Snarfs, the sandwich. Is that the sandwich place that's weed themed? Oh, that's Chiba Hut. You know the place that's just weed themed? The whole thing is like, if you like weed, this is where our sandwiches are for people who like smoking weed. It's
Hell
like,
yeah.
You know what sandwiches are for people who like smoking weed? All sandwiches.
I was about to say, I feel like Thundercloud was sponsored by methamphetamine.
When I walked into a Thundercloud and a guy was smoking a cigarette while he was working inside, and I was like, this is my type of place, baby.
100%.
There's some nasty tomatoes.
You went Jimmy Tibbs just now.
Those are some nasty tomatoes
Nasty
right there.
tomatoes right there.
Goodwinstein, you let me know when you got another bank run coming my way, okay?
I went into that sandwich shop. I said, "Oh man, Hispanics everywhere, baby. I love Latinas and I love a cigarette inside, but that's some nasty tomatoes."
You know how he hates white women a lot?
Sure.
So he hates white people. I went over to his house for dinner with my white wife, and I saw on his fridge a photo of his daughter, and I said, "Your daughter's so beautiful." He goes, "She looked like a Mexican girl because of the complexion of her mother." And I said, "Wait, was your ex-wife white?" And he was like, "Yes, sir, she was." And I was like, oh, the context for you hating white women is so much more interesting after you got divorced from a white woman.
Because he, a black man from the South, has to pay reparations every month to a white woman.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I see why he hates white women now.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I was so excited to wear these glasses in here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got them in Mexico. I feel like fucking Marco Polo. Just coming around with my travels, my little... That's how I feel about you guys, you know? Spiritually, you're Midwest. I get you're from New Jersey, but you're farm stock. So, like, spiritually, you're Midwestern, and you're, you know, Texas boy, Native American. I feel like Marco Polo traveling around. I feel like Genghis Khan. I'd like have like a little person juggling in front of me. That's what it feels like with these on.
I give off Native American to you?
You're Native American. You told me, right? You're a little bit. You got a little. I go by the one drop rule. You're Native American, right?
Well, yes, I know what tribe technically I'm a part of, but
Nice. You got to get the card.
I mean, I'm not gonna come around like Elizabeth Warren claiming status.
I think it's a little bit different because hers was fake. Hers was fake.
And well, technically, I mean, not to bore you to death, but the indigenous tribe that I'm a part of is in land that's Mexico. So it's Native North American, but we're not Native United States.
Can you get a Mexican card that says you're a part of that tribe?
No. Who would I call?
The tribe? I don't know.
Because we were never Mexican citizens. My family came from Spain to Mexico, and then they moved to Texas when it was called Tejas, and Tejas was territory. It was never a state. So they never received statehood or citizenship. So they were subjects of Mexico, but never got to be voting citizens.
Let me ask you something, because
Yeah.
you're kind of a Texas head.
Yeah.
We don't have any reservations in Texas.
Yes, we do.
We have reservations?
Yes.
That are like their own independent nations? Sovereign nations, like they do in Oklahoma and like New Mexico and shit?
To a lesser extent, yes. Kickapoos have the one, and near Eagle Pass. If where Piedras Negras, like that part of like the Mexican border, like the most southern part, is the Kickapoo Nation.
Really?
They have
and
a
they
casino.
have sovereignty?
They have a casino.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know we had a sovereign nation inside of Texas.
I mean, it's not nearly as big as the Navajo Nation or the
Cherokee's the big one in Oklahoma, I think.
The Choctaws and I think that might be the biggest one in Oklahoma, and the Navajo being the biggest one in New Mexico and Colorado, and then Utes is huge in Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and then the Sioux, you know, and the Dakotas.
everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people in Oklahoma were native.
Yeah,
and
a lot.
their license plate would say native on it. And I was thinking, like, you really want to tell the police that? That seems like the worst thing. That's like getting in Texas being like, yeah, mine says black man. Mine says armed black man on the back of mine. Yeah, my license plate says armed black man here. Mine says mildly schizophrenic Chinese man.
Native with attitude.
Native with attitude.
Well, that's what's interesting about like Oklahoma specifically was like because of the Trail of Tears, all of the northeastern tribes, the Iroquois, and like all of them then migrated and then had to like learn to work with the tribes that were in Oklahoma. But the tribes that were in Oklahoma were like, what's the word? Where you're always migrating. What's it called? Nomadic. They're like the Comanches were like horseback riding, like they would raid other tribes and settlers. Like that was their whole. They never were agrarians.
That was their thing, if you will.
Like the Iroquois of like the Virginia, like they were like farmers. Like they're the ones who taught the English how to like farm like in the new land. They were like people who built roots, farmed, and just chilled. And so then they moved into Oklahoma where like everybody was just moving around. No one was ever staying in one place. So they had to create this like new like quasi society of like all of the tribes that were expelled, you know? And then they created like the nations and they worked with the Sioux lands up north. And that's where like the Battle of Crazy Horse was, where he like got all the tribes to come together as the last stand against, I think it was Custer. I don't know. I used to really know a lot about this stuff.
We know way more than I do.
It was cool. It was cool shit. You know?
Absolutely. A society built on a refugee camp.
I think my midlife crisis will be a white guy who really, really, really gets into Native American history.
I guarantee at some point in your life, you're going to take mushrooms or maybe just have like a spiritual trip, and you're going to be like, I need to be that dude at the powwow, fucking back and forth on the drum. You're going to go to a powwow or something and have a spiritual experience.
Yeah, I was in the Order of the Arrow as a kid.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to be in that in my type of Boy Scouts.
Really?
Yeah, because that had Native American stuff, demons.
Oh, because you were too religious.
Too religious. I'm very thankful I was born the very specific type of Christian that was correct. I got really lucky.
Jimmy, did your parents have you do scouting?
No, they thought it was gay.
Yeah,
it was.
Hey, here's the thing. They were correct.
100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah. My dad was really into it because, he really needed an outlet to, like, have, like, a dad figure. Not to say that his dad wasn't a dad figure, but his dad was not around all the time. I love my grandfather, but my dad needed a dad figure, so he did scouting, and then he made us do it. And then he would make us go. We would do a month every summer in scouting, and then winter breaks, we'd get 2 weeks off. He'd send us up there for 10 days of the 2. I never saw my parents. I was always at camp, or they'd send me to their farm in Iowa. So we always did powwows and shit. So I was really into the Native American stuff at a young age.
Did you do any of the dances or any of the rings or anything?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
And I thought it was hilarious that, like, all the natives' families, were split up. They would give the Native American children to, like, white families to forget. And then my white family gave their children to Native Americans to raise their kids in the 2000s. 100 years later, the American government was like, we're going to make the white people raise Native kids to dissipate their culture. And my white parents were like, natives raise our kids. We don't fucking want to.
It's either the natives or the pedophiles over at the Boy Scouts. I'm going to roll the dice with
literally, it's a native who's drunk and then a leering white guy going like this, licking his chops.
My parents must have, and it wasn't on purpose racist. It was just like the religious type of racist, where like 100% the reason I couldn't do Order of the Arrow was like, well, yeah, Native Americans worshipped false gods. That's why they had a failed society.
Oh my God.
Don't worship the false gods they did and do their dances. So I remember at the Jamboree, they were doing, and the reason I ask about the circles is because they were doing the circles, where they do the rings, they do all the, and Boy Scouts could learn how to do it, and my whole troop was like, yeah, we do not fuck with that. That is demonic.
Yeah.
We are homeschooled Christians, and that I don't see as, I kind of understand, I don't know if this is racist, but like when the British people got to New Zealand and like they saw them dudes doing a haka on the shore.
Yeah.
I imagine being like a dude in the 1700s being like, that's a fucking demon, right? But by now we know they're not demons. They're just different than us.
For sure. I mean, the tattoos, the Maori tattoos, are scary to this
And
day.
they got the eyes that going, and then you're a guy on a boat in the 1700s that's never slept in a warm home in your life, and you're like, oh, that's fucking demonic.
Well, so much so that the warrior tattoos, like the Maori tattoos, are so scary that like white dudes from Indiana will go to Iraq and they're like, how do I scare Iraqis? I'll dress like a Maori. That's what'll scare terrorists is I dress like a Polynesian. Those dudes the Polynesians are so terrifying that they can walk around in braided necklaces and flower skirts and still scare the world's biggest empire. Oh, dude.
Go
ahead.
Have I told you the most hoe-scaring thing I've ever done?
Probably, but no. Actually, I mean,
it wasn't getting a tattoo of John Rene Bam.
It wasn't that. Hey, man,
dude,
that actually got me laid.
You got a list of hoe-scaring activities.
One of the most one of top 10 hoe-scaring activity I ever did. I didn't know it was hoe-scaring.
Is this the rat story?
This is the rat story.
Oh, baby. Hold on. Everybody, welcome to the Bad News Podcast.
Welcome to the Bad News Podcast.
I'm Sam Castillo.
I'm JT Kelley.
What's up, Jimmy Clifford?
This is a podcast where we talk about the news and we talk about scaring whores.
And
hoes.
other stuff.
And other stuff. Take it away.
So the first time this happened, well, I guess let me just start out with this. I remember being outside my house when I lived on South 1st Street, and I was in the backyard with like 3 pretty girls, right? I worked at a vegetarian restaurant at the time, so I was up to my elbows in pretty girls, right? In the backyard with pretty girls, suddenly a rat runs out from my garage, and all the girls freak out. And they scream, get it out of here, kill it, kill the rat. And I go, oh, I'm the hero. So I jump up and I stomp the rat with my foot to death.
It took me half a second to really understand what you said.
I killed it with my feet. I stomped it to death because that's what everyone was screaming. That is not what they actually wanted.
No.
They hated that.
They wanted you to shoo it away.
They wanted me to shoo it away. They screamed, kill it again. I was like, I know, I'll kill this rat. It's right next to me. And so I stomped it to death.
So he picked it up and squeezed it and petted it. He said, I love you.
I stomped it out with my feet. I was wearing steel-toed Red Wing boots. Still have them, too.
Oh, my God.
Call them my man makers. Stomped it out. They freaked out. All of them left my house pretty soon after that. They didn't say, hey, it's the rat, but they were like, oh, yeah, we got to go to some. And I was like, yeah,
Look, we hadn't planned on staying anyways, but...
Yeah, they were like, this is definitely not what we want, which is crazy. Don't scream kill the rat if you don't want a man of God to step up.
They said kill it?
I don't know if they screamed kill the rat. That might have been the demon on my shoulder.
Hold on.
Do it, JT, finally.
Are we sure they said kill it?
I don't even know why I said they said kill it. I don't think they said kill it. I don't know why I thought I would get away with that lie. They were screaming.
You sound, right now, what you sound like is a cop who now has to go to court after a routine traffic stop. You said, I pulled the rat over and I was afraid for my life. That is why I shot at the rat. I stomped the rat out. I held the rat down for 9 minutes. I stomped on the rat's neck for 9 minutes.
It's
because
fight,
the rat was
fight or freeze, okay?
The rat had fentanyl in his system. Is all I'm saying.
I had PCP. He was going crazy. Maybe they screamed kill it. Maybe they screamed kill it. They didn't like it though. They didn't want that rat there. I knew that for sure. And I know I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna kill this rat. I'm gonna stomp it out.
A bunch of vegetarians for sure didn't say kill it.
I don't think they said kill it. I'll be honest. I don't think they said kill it. What sucks is this happened almost exactly the same way another time.
Oh my God.
This happened again. It happened again.
You are the Derek Chauvin of exterminators.
This time it was at Mohawk actually, and different group of girls, but we were in the little area smoking weed. Rat comes out. They freak out. They jump up onto the things. I go, I'll take care of this. Instinct. I've trained for this. I know exactly what. And again, I stomp it out. And again. And again. And again. They did not like it. I said, what, you love the rat? What? You want to sleep with the rat? The rat you want to go home with?
No, smash cut to JT in an alleyway, hosing off his boots, saying to his buddy, I just don't know what women want. I just don't get it.
Do you want the rat here or not? Because a minute ago, you made it seem like the rat being here was the biggest problem in the world. And then Mr. Solution shows up, and now you're heartbroken. You don't even know this rat. This is a friend of yours? Is this rat fucking you?
How many rats have you stomped out in your life?
Two.
Because here's the thing. I was like, I've never stomped out a rat before, but I think if I was about to do it for the second time, there would be a part of my brain that went, I wonder what happened the first time I stomped this rat out.
Now,
you were like, JT, do it again, do it again, do it again.
I said that adrenaline rush. I said, it's fight, flight, or freeze. We know what mine is if it's a rat, baby. I'm an angel of death. I never learned a lesson in my life, Jimmy.
Wait, what if we flipped it? What if you were hanging at a girl's house and all of a sudden, you're just sitting in the kitchen, you're both standing in the kitchen having a beer. Mm-hmm. You see a rat run by, she looks at it, goes, oh my God, and then stomps it out. How would you feel?
I'd feel so thankful.
Yeah.
There is a third time. I forgot. There is a third time. So my ex-girlfriend had set up
get a grand jury.
Rat traps, and this rat we thought was poisoned and dead. So I picked it up, and after I picked it up, it bit me.
Oh, fuck.
And then I threw it against the wall. And I do think I might have stomped her, but I remember the third time just now.
You used an illegal hold that has been banned by LA County on this rat.
And neither of you guys have killed a rat or a mouse before.
Not with my bare hands.
You know what? I used when I was renting this place in New York for like a week. There was a mouse, and so I just grabbed a dustpan and a broom, and I swooped the mouse into the dustpan so hard that it died.
Same thing I did.
I put it in a dustpan, but then I just like tossed it out.
Right.
Same thing I did.
Yeah.
You guys are just adding extra steps.
Right.
No, but mine wasn't dead.
I'm Mr. Solution.
JT,
You're Mr. Final Solution.
JT held the mouse on its back and put his thumbs in its eyes and then read passages of the Bible as it then said, good night, good night.
I just remembered a fourth time. And I think the third time was actually before the second time I just told you.
How far apart were the first two stories?
So the first one happened like right when I moved into the pink house in Austin.
And then the second one?
The second one happened maybe like 2015, 2016 when I was working at Mohawk.
Okay, so I mean, what is that, 2 years? A year?
Yeah, like a year.
All right. I would be hilarious if it was less than 60 days.
Yeah, if it was just back with the best weekend of my life. When did it happen? My birthday weekend, 22 years old. Got them all.
You guys want to hop into the story?
Yeah, man, we got a doozy of a story.
First story in the 3 episodes.
I know.
I just enjoy it.
We're just having too much fun.
All right, well, this first story is near and dear to our producer's heart and hometown. Yeah. You go ahead, and I want you to introduce this story, Jimmy.
Well, actually, why don't you get to it? Because I feel like you're the one with fresh eyes. I'm going to get too overexcited and want to bring up shit too early on.
Okay, so
every headline about this story is insane, too.
Yeah.
Every headline about this one story sounds like it's about a different story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right, so about 8 years ago, a bunch of cops in the central Jersey area were just taken in a class action lawsuit from cops in their department. And this is like a small town. This is one of those exciting stories where usually when you hear about the police, it's like, like the Scorpion crew in Memphis, like a big city cops who were just corrupt as shit, who are like terrorizing the public.
Yeah.
This is one of those stories where a small town police department was terrorizing themselves.
Do you have any idea how intense it has to be for a fellow cop to tattle on you. A cop to tattle on you and and actually successfully tattle. The different levels of cops being like, yeah, we got to escalate this tattle.
So
very rare.
So much so that the city council of the town was like, we're going to have to pay these cops settlements for their how fucked they are. Literally fucked. One of them, a guy was fucked in the ass with a Maglite flashlight so hard in his ass he couldn't sit down for days.
Yeah.
They had to ice his asshole down because he was sodomized with a flashlight.
And all of this is supposed to be a joke, too. That's all the police that did this, all the cops that did this, are all their whole defense is we were just goofing.
Yes, this was a story where horsing around got to be sodomy. All right,
horse cocking around.
The first story here was this is 23 insane, disgusting, flat out inhumane claims from the Mountainside police lawsuit. Mountainside, New Jersey's own, the chief of police and the head of the homicide detective department. Which I love that they have a head of homicide, because I looked into this Mountainside, New Jersey. The police department employed 12 people.
So read the first
So the homicide department is like 2 guys, and one's the bottom of the department and one's the head of the department. I love the lofty titles these small departments give themselves.
Head of homicide, and then the rest of the department is the other guy.
Now, as the head of the homicide department, me and the rest of the department are going to figure out who keeps leaving these bodies, these dead mice everywhere.
As the head of the homicide department, I want to know, who do I go to for my head? I haven't got sucked off yet.
I'm the brains of the operation, and I get brains. This is the kind of, okay. Basically, the story of the Mountainside, New Jersey, is that the chief of the police department and the head of the homicide department were sexually assailing the rest of all of their fellow police officers, to the point where they hired a class action lawsuit, sued them, won, and had those 2 men fired and given their severances away. That's the long and short of it. Now let's dive into what these guys did.
I love the first paragraph of this is so fucking sexual harassment, homophobic games, racial slurs, testicles on a soda can, a chief who points his gun at his officers, a computer riddled with porn viruses, and to top it all off, a big blue dildo. That's the first paragraph of one of these articles.
In March of 2011, Officer Huber and then Lieutenant Antanasio called Berkeley Heights Police Department for off. This is the first story. If you go through, it's this list that we have is out of order. Before we get to the sexual assault, I want to give these guys a shout out to what I think, in my opinion, is the most funny of all the stories. Basically, these Mountainside, New Jersey guys, a bar in Mountainside had a big brawl, they thought. So the police department goes in, then they call for backup, panicking a neighboring area called Scotch Plains, New Jersey. And they said, we need backup. We need backup. The Scotch Plains, New Jersey department gets there, and then the cops of Mountainside go in and steal the Scotch Plains officer's car. They called in a fake emergency, then stole the car like it's an 80s movie.
It's like how you steal cash off a pizza guy.
And then they trashed, like pissed all over the car. They trashed the car as if the other police department wouldn't figure it out.
These cops are just so ACAB.
Yeah.
Pulling over, just gonna fuck up these cops' cars, piss all over their seats. They said, fuck the police.
Coming straight from the underground.
Okay, these are the guys involved. This is from left to right, Lieutenant Thomas Murphy.
I'm sorry, this guy looks like the fucking crypt keeper. Like,
yeah, that guy's a
you know
demon
that
from
he's
hell.
bad at his job no matter what it is.
He's bad at standing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then to his left, this is Chief Alan Antanasio. So that chief right there, the chief, Antanasio, is the guy who called the fake problem on and had the other police department help him.
Okay, so you gotta recognize that as pretty cool, right?
And the guy to his right, Sergeant Huber, is the guy who did all of the sexual assaulting.
The guy with the tie looks like when he goes to the barber, he just goes, Army, and points at his head. Just give me the army. Give me the army. And the barber goes,
Oh,
yeah.
the army?
The army just gives it up the side. Give me the army, please. Give me the army, man.
This is one of the best things in there. On the same day, an attorney presented a program on sexual assault and harassment and said that sex toys have no place in the workplace, and having some in the office was immediate grounds for termination. When this part of the presentation took place, Huber, the guy in the blue shirt, stood up and left the room. The lawsuit also claims that Murphy, guy on the left, carried a flashlight as part of his daily work gear and had a practice of taking his flashlight and ramming it into the anus area of other male officers while at the police headquarters. And yeah, I mean, that's just amazing. Okay, so let's go down the line.
That was this guy's bit. This guy's good joke was, hey, I'm going to take this flashlight and put it up this guy's butt. And he goes, this is so good.
So the guy on the left here would
Yo, honey, you'll never believe I killed today at the office.
He's telling his wife about it when he gets home. He's like, babe, they were dying today. She's like, were you doing the flashlight thing? He's like, you know it, babe.
First, we meet Big Blue, a large dildo. This is the center of the lawsuit. These guys, do you mind if we play that video?
Yeah, at the top?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so the star, the real star of this lawsuit is Big Blue, which is a blue dildo that Huber, the guy on the right, would sodomize his subordinates with.
I want to dick it.
I love how dildo is like the official word, so they have to keep using it over and over again.
Blue. Andy's got something for you.
Oh, no. I want to dick it. What's it, a dick? What do you think of pitching out?
Hell yeah. Okay, this part's not as funny. Let's cut this part off. Now, all right.
Wait, why is it not as funny? I never saw the second part.
It's just so blurry, it barely makes any sense out of context.
I thought you were trying to say it's so offensive, and I was like, oh, let the cop cook, dude.
No, not at all. Once we read more into it, we can go back and watch it. But right now, it just like out of context, it wouldn't make sense.
Oh man.
So, can you imagine putting yourself on the line of duty?
I don't have to imagine. I pretty much served as a police officer most of my life.
And you took out rats.
Yeah.
And scared women.
I was the rat cop. I said, oh, women are feeling very safe on public transport. I should go sit on a bus and kind of mumble to myself. How much of the Quran can I quote to myself? Let's find out. It's not a lot.
You guys have been sexually harassed at your job?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've worked at gay bars, dude.
Oh.
I worked at a limo
God.
company.
You looked at a limo.
I worked at a limo company, yeah.
What happened to you?
Dude, I mean, limo drivers are the craziest people of all time.
What?
No.
Is that known about limo drivers?
Really?
Yeah, dude.
It's just cocaine and fast women for them?
Not even cocaine. It's just like Arby's and Wendy's and shit. Okay, like there was this,
wow, wild. We chose, some days we'd get McFlurries. No, what you don't get is they bash the Heath bar into the shake. A lot of guys just sprinkle it on top, but they put it in. Yeah, we got it like that. We're limo drivers. Yeah, Jimmy's mom got Jimmy's dad a shirt that said, "You wouldn't get it, comma. It's a limo driver thing." The fuck does that mean? Yeah, we don't even need cocaine. We already live pretty fucking wild.
We got Wendy's.
no, I just mean they're all like fat and unhealthy.
Oh, well, that's not wild. That's pretty average for the American experience.
Yeah.
That's
every job.
That's the pretty. Yeah, you know who also does that? Every job, including cops, including cops that harass their employees.
Yeah,
Dude, I was working there in high school, and I was like 16 or 17, and there was this guy named Vinny, and I was a dispatcher, so he would call in, and then he'd be like, "Hey, can I have my next job?" And he'd call when he dropped off. And I remember one time, he called up and he goes, "Hey, Jimmy, I just dropped off my passenger." And I'm like, "Oh, that's wonderful, Vinny. Here's your next gig." And he goes, No. Wonderful is when a chick's sucking your dick and she's cradling your balls at the same time." And it's like, fuck, dude.
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
You guys you would consider that to be a wonderful thing?
Yeah.
I consider that to be expected.
I worked at a gay bar where this one guy, I was told him, I was like, oh, I just got engaged. And he goes, oh, you're not straight? And I was like, yeah, I am. I got engaged to a woman. He goes, would you be straight with my cock in your mouth? And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's like, do you want to find out? And I was like, no, I don't. I just told you I got engaged. And he was like, what would your wife think about me fucking your ass? And I'm like, she wouldn't like it. She wouldn't like that, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're a bar back here. What's going on?
Was he threatening you?
Dude, this guy wanted to have sex with me so badly because I'm straight and I flirted with him a lot.
You let him on.
Non-stop, yeah.
Yeah, he was into me because I kept telling him to pursue me.
I would call him hot and laugh at his jokes, yeah, all the time. All the time.
Because I would just tease with the head of his penis.
Yeah, we would make out as like a joke, right? I'd kiss him with tongue as like a bit. And then he'd try to act like I was gay. I'd laugh in his face.
I'd put my hands on his knees and my head on his lap.
Have I showed you my knees buckling yet?
No.
Dude, let me show you this. Let me show you this. Say something sexy.
Oh, wow, you look hot as fuck right now. Ah, why don't do that? It's so hot in this room that
Knees buckling is so funny to me.
to buckle your knees.
To buckle I just found out I could do that.
You just found.
I've never done that before.
I guess I never have either.
You never, do you know if you can?
To put my knees together?
Yeah, but like in a sexual way.
It was
like
gonna hurt my junk.
Yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt. That's why I thought I could never do it.
You didn't know if you could handle the pain.
Have you been sexually harassed at work?
Yeah.
Who'd you sexually harass you?
Chefs.
Yeah.
And kitchens that I worked for.
That makes sense. These guys don't actually want to have sex with you, though. These cops don't want to have sex either.
These are lecherously coked out guys who coke themselves out to where they just like want to just like put their hands on something.
When I worked at Mohawk, there was a guy there that always say, do you want me to suck on your cock? But he'd never mean it like he was gay. He thought it was really funny. And he'd also try to grab your penis over your pants all the time.
That was a closeted guy.
I thought so too, yeah.
That's what that behavior
He would
means.
also watch gay porn in front of you as a joke.
That's a gay guy who's not open.
Well, no, he was all just a bit for him. I feel the same way about these guys.
I promise you that's not a bit. He's watching gay pornography on his phone.
As a joke.
It'd be one thing to put gay pornography on someone else's desktop computer in the office and be like, ha ha, look at that. But no, he's like, hey, you're gonna want to see this part. he's pressing the 15-second button. He goes, hold on, right here. That's a guy.
He has the link added as a shortcut on his home screen. Just straight.
It's frequently visited on his browser.
If watching gay porn all the time makes you gay, is that gay?
Yeah,
the gay section.
Watching gay porn as a joke all the time to jack off is gay.
That's his landing page. On
Tell me if you think this is sexual harassment. There was a guy who used to work as a limo driver, and he would buy hookers, but then he would like scam them out of money, and the hookers would call the office and yell at us because he scammed them, and our office number was the only number that he would give hookers.
How did he scam them?
Fake dollars.
What?
He was running counterfeit money to hookers. What a risky business to be be in.
And
do you know what he did for fun?
I do. Yeah, he'd fuck hookers.
Put his life in danger.
Other than that, Civil War reenactment.
What a complicated
That's
name.
pretty tight. Which side did he reenact?
You know. You
Yeah.
know.
I do. I wanted him to say it. I wanted him to look at me and say it.
The hooker that called more than once, I remember, her name was, I'm Diamond. And I was like, okay, hi, Diamond. I'm sorry, I can't pay you. You're going to have to talk to Gordon.
To Gordy.
Gordon was just stealing pussy. Getting pussy on bad credit. You're putting pussy on the house's tab, buddy.
Matt, you know what I'd love to do is like make like a documentary for like very boring, meaningless lives. So it's like we're like Gordon's like brother, and he's like, man, I told Gordon, man, you're in a bad way. I said, you were already pushing it in that gray uniform. You're going down there playing General Forrest saying death to Lincoln, death to Lincoln. But then you walk around with the saber that CSA on it, and then man. Diamond didn't do nothing to nobody. All Diamond did was suck you off. Suck you off while you're working.
Can't you be like most limo drivers and just enjoy Wendy's? Enjoy Wendy's like the other wild guys?
Can't you just be like one of those wild cowboys and just get hypertension over the span of 25 years? Living fast and loose.
Limo drivers are the last real cowboys.
Dipping a curly fry in a soda because it feels good.
Last real cowboys on this frontier is in this here cab right here.
I used to say,
Have you had Wendy's? Let me ask. The little spicy nuggies after midnight in this car?
right now this guy is Danny Glover.
I don't know who Danny Glover is.
A raspy voice black man.
Oh.
Gordon couldn't be further from that. Gordon looks like a turtle.
Yeah, he's a Confederate reenactor. We know.
Yeah.
You're either like a guy with like Norse tattoos on your hands, or you're a guy that looks like a fatter me.
Oh man, and here's the thing: all those guys with Norse tattoos become the fatter you.
Yeah.
They get there.
Oh yeah.
They say, you know what? An all meat diet is good.
Hey, all meat diet doesn't sound bad. I would love an all meat diet. That sounds delicious.
Phrasing.
That's how you get gout.
Pause.
I would love an all cock diet. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Balls on the mind, you know? I would juggle.
Yeah, I would sexually. You're like, I love the idea of being like, you're like, yeah, I was sexually harassed at my job, and then we ask all of the people you worked with, and they'd be like, yeah, JT would proposition me to the point to where it was not okay. I said, aren't you getting married to a woman?
Why are you showing me hole?
Yeah. Why are you starfishing right now?
Stop showing me hole, sir.
Quit splaying yourself open.
When my little cousin was like too old to be doing this, he was probably a freshman in high school. He used to walk up to people and be like, "Oh my God, don't spank me!" And they're like,
What?
No. Which is like such a funny thing to say to a substitute teacher.
That is funny to say to a substitute teacher.
I do that as you slowly hide away.
Oh, my gifts from the Orient I came back with. Oh, my treasures from my travel. I'll just cover my eyes with them.
I wondered, you know, you're in Mexico. You dress like this.
Exactly like this.
Exactly like this. And they're wondering, if we kidnapped him, would it be worth the
Who
trouble?
would pay for this back? Who?
His wife is blonde.
Yeah.
That could give us money. But then you look at him.
Listen, if you drop me back in the United States, I have a freezer full of Hot Pockets that are yours, no questions asked.
You can't have them all, but you can have many of them. You may have many of them.
Yeah, the Mexican cops are known for like taking bribes and shaking Americans down.
Go ahead,
and the
shake my
American
ass down.
cops are known for just sexually assaulting each other. Yeah, that was yeah, this is like, of all the top headlines, I like what stole from this one. I just copy and paste in this document. One of the columns is listed, "Surprise, I'm naked." The suit claims on several occasions that Huber would hide quietly in the stall of a men's locker room completely naked in hopes of surprising other officers. On one occasion, a dispatcher almost sat on Huber due to the surprise of Huber hiding on the toilet. First of all, I'm not trying to victim blame, right? These people are suing the police department because they've been sexually assaulted to the point to where like they're like, fuck my masculinity, I need to speak up. But imagine you almost sit on someone else in a toilet. You're not looking where you're sitting down. You open the stall and you go, all right, and you're running in there and slam your pants down, asshole out, and then you sit on this guy.
This is rhetoric of a man that's sick of being told not to leave the seat up.
It also alleges, I'm not going to address that. It also alleges that Huber on multiple times stood on a bench in the locker room so that when an officer walked in, Huber's penis out would be in the face level of an officer. And then he said he would drop his towel for no reason, in quotations, or bend over while naked to try to cause physical contact.
I think there was a reason, so they could see his penis or his balls.
Yeah, of course.
That's the reason.
Finally, in the lawsuit, it says that Huber would frequently, in quotations, tuck his penis and testicles between his legs to make it look like a woman's groin area. Well, that's not sexual assault. He's actually hiding them from the other guy.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was in a locker room. If I was in a locker room with you guys, I've never been in a locker room. I've never been naked around other men. But if I did, I would put my penis and balls between my leg to walk around like that so we weren't exposing ourselves like the Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
Yeah, you would tuck, right, to walk around.
Yeah, we talk.
Well, do you guys do that in locker rooms?
No, I just fit my balls and cock in my own asshole. It's like a nice little
God, that's the
pocket.
dream.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine if you could fit your own cock in your own asshole? That's the final form of evolution. A man to fuck his own ass.
Purely optimized. I like the idea of like you draw like all the like you come up with like Leonardo da Vinci inventions on your own. We like lock you in a room and you become the genius. One of the drawings is like the guy with like 18 arms and then just a dick in his ass.
It's the virtue in man, but it's from the side and it's just his dick gained different ways. I'm doing Minority Report swiping across the screens trying to figure out how to get this dick in my ass. God, because here's the thing. When you try to get your dick in your own ass, you obviously start getting hard, and then your dick points away from your ass. So if you could find a way to get your dick long enough to fit in your ass without getting hard, and get your dick near your asshole without getting hard, impossible. So that's what I need to solve.
You know, we went into this recording saying we're gonna try to be more relatable. We're gonna try to make the show more marketable, and you're like,
everyone wants to fuck their own ass. Every Christian man in America. Is that marketable? Jimmy? Christian men in America, Sam? They want to fuck their own ass.
the department's current chief of police, Alan Antanasio, who since has been placed on paid leave, is alleged to have mounted a laser sight on his revolver, which would point at officers frequently inside headquarters.
That's insane. I don't think you can do that anywhere.
Yeah, that's let's see. Okay, let's find out. I don't remember how much they actually walked away with, but they walked away with a lot of money. The cops that won the settlement, and I just remember like reading all of these articles. If you go through another article that goes through some of the stories that these guys did, the other one that they did was they would quote hang brain, which I love that these guys are in their like 50s and they talk the way that like I do right now.
Hang brain.
And they would go to restaurants in the area of New Jersey and just dunk their balls and dickhead into food in the restaurants, and then just be like, like they were like it was like Fight Club for them.
Classic. A classic move is to walk into a Denny's and give yourself a moon under your hammy and just fucking dip it up, put it back on the table.
I mean, I think we've already gotten the point across of like what these
What
guys
about the
did.
time there was another one in one of those articles where I think it was Huber, but he would like take a shit and then take the dirty tissue towel and just throw it over the stall onto other people.
just
Crazy.
drop grenades.
And these guys are probably all cops at just different places now.
Yeah, yeah. They're
These
all
are just cops in different cities.
these guys
telling the
work
story.
in law enforcement.
Oh, yeah,
no
no
doubt.
doubt.
We could look at the LinkedIn's of these guys for sure.
100%.
They just went one town over in New Jersey. But okay, I think we've already gotten the point across of like these guys terrorized the community. They terrorized other police departments. They terrorized restaurants. They terrorized each other. Jimmy, what was the reaction to you and your family when you guys heard the news about this?
It was just like shameful, you know, because the whole joke is that like Mountainside's a really good, nice town.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know.
It's a nice town with a lot of money, and that's why they don't have anything to do. They're fucking bored. You know, it's like, oh, people aren't going to start drinking and driving for another few hours. What am I going to sit with my...
We need to give those cops iPads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
well, fuck, no one's going to drink and drive for 4 more hours. I guess I might as well face fuck my fellow officer against his will.
Yeah, they need to watch. Get Miss Rachel on the iPad for those guys. Calm them down a little.
Who's Miss Rachel?
Miss Rachel, she makes kids videos.
Okay.
You don't have any little kids in your life that watch Miss Rachel? I feel like every little kid watches Miss Rachel.
I
What
don't.
little kids do you have in your life that
I
watch
got
it?
nieces and nephews.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't have like a harem of kids at my house or anything.
You shouldn't check.
Yeah, hey, my house, if you want to check for kids, my house is open, all right?
I do love...
No, it's a kid-free home, buddy.
So I call him today before we come over here, and...
Screaming racist epithets.
Sure, but I was doing it as Niles Crane from Frasier. So it's playful. And I say, oh, Niles. Niles, please.
Niles, please.
Niles, please. You're making a scene inside of the movie theater.
Man,
You're talking over the movie. We all came to see Anaconda. And they're screaming, don't go in there. Don't go in there. Oh, child, don't go in there.
Niles goes to Magic Johnson's theaters.
Yeah, Fraser Crane. Fraser Crane. I would love the character. I would love for that character to see Django Unchained in a movie in Detroit theater, in a Detroit movie theater. Leonardo! He's smashing the glass on his hand. Now, okay, so I call him and I was like, "What are you up to right now?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just watching this guy, this guy who played God with ants."
Oh, I love this guy.
What is he called?
Canada Ants.
Canada Ants. It's this guy who just builds ant terrariums and plays God with them.
He puts in little, like, just today. Today he put in a little mini crocodile.
I watch this every day.
I watch it all the time. My wife says it's autistic. I go, okay. If this is autism, sign me up, buddy. I love this guy. I think he's gay. I don't know. He just gives the vibe. I love him, and I think he's gay. And I think he thinks he's God. He puts all these ants in the terrarium, and he makes them fight with each other, and he records them. He puts race war. He puts different types of ants in there and different types of cockroaches.
He puts bullet ants in there with
Race
fire ants.
war,
And
yeah.
he says that?
No, I say it when I watch it though. When the ants start fighting, I say race war, and it's crazy. He put a spider in there, but before he puts the spider on the screen, he goes, "Hey, arachnophobes, look away." So I look away, and then
It's a trigger warning.
Yeah, it's a trigger warning. I don't want to look at spiders.
He hates spiders.
I go right back to the ants, and then when the ants are on, the ants ate a lizard recently. It was a few weeks ago. The ants ate a lizard. So there's actually
He fed a live lizard to the ants.
no. So he put a lizard in there, and the lizard lost to the marauder ants. There's the marauder ants. There's the crazy ants. There is the fire ants. There's the carpenter ants. And there's a couple other ants in there. And then there's beetles and cockroaches. I love this guy.
How big is this terrarium?
It is fucking massive. And he has tons of them. This guy's got to be a billionaire. He's got to be a billionaire. I love him. I love this guy. I don't know his name. I call him Ants Canada, the gay guy. Don't know if he's gay. Love him. Loving him to death. I watch him nonstop.
I love the gay community's like, we're not claiming him.
Yeah, no. He's also scared of some of the same bugs, too. I'm a little scared of the bugs. So
he's dropping bugs going, ew, ew, ew.
Yeah, that's why I think he's gay.
Yeah, but you're afraid of those ants.
Yeah.
So then you're gay.
I wouldn't say I'm gay.
Oh,
I'm legally, in the court of law,
I'm
married to a
different.
woman.
I'd say pretty fucking cool if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'm built different.
Gay, believe that's a lifestyle. That's all I have to say about it. But yeah, I love the ants guy. Ants Canada, 10 out of 10.
I follow something similarly autistic. It's this guy that likes to take a treadmill and then he takes little little kid cars, puts them on the treadmill and has them race and see who wins each one.
That one's good.
I do it all the time.
That's good. That's good stuff, dude. It's good stuff.
Lightning McQueen is gonna win again.
Oh yeah. I want all of my entertainment to be dudes in their house that have a thing like that. They go, "Hey, I got to put this on YouTube." The best entertainment is the guy with a million ants, the guy that just has the treadmill, the guy that just has that patio that he just breaks bottles filled with colored water on.
Yeah.
Love him. I go, "Yeah, buddy." Oh, the guy with the slow-mo camera that just pops balloons and stuff like that, puts it on YouTube. Thank you. I don't want to know what's going on in the news. Thank
Honestly, yeah, we already know what's going on.
you. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
I get the gist.
Cops are face fucking each other.
They're
Cops here are either they're face fucking each other. They're
Either way, listen.
There's one
Someone's
more
not
local
breathing.
story
Okay.
that's also related to the Jimmy Clifford lore,
Okay.
and that's the magician.
Oh, you heard about the magician?
Yeah, it's the next article on there. Because the magician was the husband of the mayor, right?
Yeah. So this is like one town over in New Jersey, which you're from such a magical place. John.
Yeah, a modern Sodom and Gomorrah.
Whenever I get bored, I go to New Jersey 101.5, the website, and it just tells me there's never good news. Literally, you look at okay, so let's just read the title. New Jersey magician found with disturbing child abuse material, cop says. So all of where Jimmy's from, JT, the local radio station has a website. The articles are like, cops sexually assault each other, magician sexually assaults children. It's like
Things in New Jersey Jersey, pretty bad.
And then the third article is like, it's like basketball court reboarded with new wood. And that's like the only good news in the area is like local basketball team got new jerseys. And then the next one is like cop found slain in mysterious magic bullet case. It's like, what the fuck is going on over there? I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, ta-da, we all knew, right?
If you're a magician, red flag.
Yeah, huge red flag.
Huge red flag. Because magic is cool and sexy, right? But if you're good at magic, if you're good at magic, you should be performing for beautiful women in Vegas. If you're good at magic and you're performing at kids' parties...
You should be mind freaking.
Yeah, you should be mind... Because if you're good at magic, obviously... pussy gonna flow like tap water.
Sure.
If you're good at magic and you go to a place like Vegas or LA or New York, the magic hubs, the magic towns, call them magic
town.
cities, you're good to go. If you're good at magic and you're doing children's birthday parties, we should just put you in prison and then investigate.
We decided that magic should only happen in the desert of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because it will get people so wet.
He also owned a magic shop.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So if you lived in the tri-state area and you wanted to learn how to be magical, you had to go through him.
You had to go under his wing.
I'm the guy.
Yeah. Don't mind all of these hard drives that I have sitting next to my cash register.
How did he get caught?
Yeah, don't you think he could have just made the evidence disappear?
Disappear. That's exactly what I was thinking. How did he get caught?
Well, let's see. Can you read it from there? I can't read it.
Yeah. An investigation launched following an anonymous tip, maybe possession of materials, search of electronics. Okay, so someone just told on him. Good for them. Good job. If you ever think someone might have child porn on them, it is your fucking God-given duty to tattle immediately. I like to watch those pedophile hunters that go, oh, Jimmy, I sent you the best pedophile hunter. Most of the pedophile hunters that go online and trick weirdos into talking to teens, they show up, and then they get the guy to admit that they have child porn on their phone, and then they call the cops, right?
God damn.
So it's pretty good. These guys show up, and they just, it sounds barbaric, but it's fantastic. They show up, they get these guys to admit they're perverts.
No. I said God damn because it's crazy to think that there's so many people with it that guys can make they can make an never-ending supply of content.
There are
if
dozens
you're a media
of these guys,
strategist,
if not hundreds.
And you're like, okay, look, we were going to be a basketball account, but they only play, I don't know, 8 months out of the year. There's still 4 months unaccounted for. They're like, what's a lane of social media that will never run dry?
Never run dry.
Have you seen any of these guys, Sam?
No.
There's one guy. I don't want to cut you off. I'm going to let you finish, but he's the GOAT of it. So you first, and then I'll go after.
The guy I sent you?
No, it's a different guy.
Oh, so there's these guys.
Man,
most of them just kind of fuck with
guys.
these guys, and they're pretty funny. There's one guy that's really famous that, like, you know, his whole stream is catching these guys. And, like, there's some guys that they only focus on, like, putting these guys in jail. But there's one guy that I sent Jimmy. He's the only guy I've seen like this. He's out of Gary, Indiana. He just shows up and starts fighting these guys. Starts punching them in the face, and over again, these pedophiles, they go, that's assault. And he goes, damn right it is, call the cops. Call the cops. And they go, and he goes, yeah, you're not going to call the cops because you're a pedophile. And they go, you can't hit me. And then he punches them. He'll punch him over. He'll walk up to him and just go like, hey, man, do you think you're going to meet with a 15-year-old boy? And the guy will go, well, and then he's fucking front kicking him right in the chest. It's fantastic.
Wow.
It's
That's
fantastic.
vigilante justice.
Yeah. And I get, it's like, you probably shouldn't do that. We can't make a habit of just going street justice, but this guy gets a pass. He rules.
I mean, we're about to interview a guy who openly admits to being a war criminal.
Yeah,
So
hope
I don't
he
know if
comes
we
on.
should be doing. I mean, I don't. Who's to say what I should advocate for? What?
Who are you calling the GOAT?
The GOAT is the guy that created a game show where he asks people questions, and if they get it right, he goes, I won't call the cops.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That guy's so good.
But it's like, you know, who played Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire? They're just like, what
the fuck?
Kirsten Dunst? Correct. Okay, next question.
So it's not even like common knowledge. It's arcane specific knowledge to movies.
Oh, dude, I
He'll
gotta
also
pull it up.
hand him a remote and be like, if you can beat me at 2K, I will not call the cops. And the guys will freak out and be like, oh my God, thank you. And then play 2K. And the guy obviously calls the cops. And the cops show up and do their thing anyways. But it's great watching these guys just jump through hoops, play 2K.
But I ran a Wildcat offense.
yeah. Man, I like those videos. I love watching those guys get busted.
Seems like a good place to take it on home. You want to pull up a video, Jamie?
Yes.
I can tell. I can see you tapping away. Also, this is going to be old news by the time this comes out, but shout out to Mexico. They just elected their first woman president.
I saw, and she's a red diaper baby.
What does that mean?
Both of her parents were communists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, both of her parents were organizing communists. Like, not like communist in theory, but communist in action.
President Scheinbaum, orale, huh?
Orale! Sendario luminoso.
I've never heard that term, red diaper.
Yeah, a red diaper baby. It's someone that was raised by communists.
Yeah.
There's a guy that owns a coffee shop here that I was kind of friends with, and he posted a photo of his dad, and his dad had a big pin on him. That was a big Mao Zedong pin. And I said, oh, dude, was your dad a Maoist? And he was like, haha, why? And I was like, he's wearing a Mao pin. Were you a red diaper baby? Like, were you raised by communists? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. And then he blocked me on everything. And I was like, oh, I wasn't being mean. I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting.
It clearly means that it traumatized and ruined his childhood.
I don't give a shit about his
Who
childhood.
gives a fuck about his life? I'm
you
trying
think-
to bond.
Trying to learn about your dad's history. Fuck your childhood.
Yeah,
You're a
fuck
business
you.
owner. Things are going good for you,
Yeah.
buddy. I want to sell a business. Just retire.
Sure.
Like that guy did. Man,
Damn.
I think that's the show.
That's the show, guys. This is a bit of a weird one. It's so hot in this room that we're delirious.
It's getting hot in this room.
But we appreciate you. We hope we regaled you with stories of rats getting stomped out, JT sexually harassing his coworkers.
Am I still going to go to heaven?
Yeah, of course, baby.
Okay.
Oh, that is actually one of the funniest things. I was followed by this person from like a reel, and then I clicked on the profile because she was hot, and then her bio was, I hope heaven is crowded. That's like what her bio said. And I was like, what a sweet person. She helps people go to heaven.
Evangelical Christian.
All right. On that note, I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And
What's up, Jimmy? Peace.
we'll see you on the internet next week. Thank you.
Thank you.